guys, and welcome back to another Remembering Forgotten Memories episode. This one, God, I'm gonna sound like such a douche telling this story because I am the first one to admit, in hindsight, this one was so fucked up. I don't know. It was one of those things where my grandpa did it to me first, and then I took it and ran with it, like, way too far because I thought it was funny. And also, you pair that with the overactive imagination shit. This was a recipe for disaster from day one. What can I say? I was a little kid. I wouldn't do this today, but as a little kid, it seemed pretty dang funny. It's still a little bit funny, just a little bit. But anyway, so just for legality's sake, we're talking about a Halloween decoration skeleton. There is no actual corpse involved in this, despite the way we told the story. So, anyway, at my grandparents' house, on my mom's side, they had one of those attics with the, like, pull-down door in the ceiling to get to it and everything, and that was generally where, like, all the holiday, decorations were kept. Most of the stuff most people would keep in an attic, they kept in the basement under the house. And the decorations were up there, which I would argue is way harder to get to. I don't know. I'm not the one who did it. Don't know. They're not around anymore to ask why. But anyway. So usually, like, I would go up there and help my grandpa bring down, like, the Christmas tree and, like, the ornaments, this, that, and the other. Not so much with the other holidays usually, but I mean, if I was bored enough and he was bringing stuff down, I'd get nosy and kind of want to see what's up there. But regardless, there was one of those life-size plastic skeletons up there that he didn't keep it in a box or anything. No, my grandpa had a sense of humor and he had it, like, propped up on a chair in, like, the back corner just to be effing creepy, right? So, I apparently had never noticed it there. Somehow. I mean, it wasn't well lit or anything. It wasn't like a finished attic. It was just, you know, like a normal attic. So anyway, we go up there. And I'm helping him grab stuff. He's like, hey, by the way, check out the dead guy in the corner. I'm like, what dead guy in the corner? And all it took was me turning around. And like, my little kid brain thought it was real. And I screamed so fast and jumped back and started crying. And this would be the point where most grandparents would be like, it's just a decoration. It's cool. Calm down. Don't cry. He doubled down and claimed it was his dead brother. My grandpa was an only child, okay? There was no dead brother, but my little kid brain didn't know that. He could have had a dead brother for all I knew. I did not know. So I was all kinds of upset. I went barreling back down those stairs and ran to my mom. Oh my god, I saw your dad's dead brother. She's like, what, my dad didn't have a brother. He's an only child. I saw him up in the attic. And meanwhile, my grandpa's laughing his ass off and came to explain to my mom while carrying the skeleton, like waving his hand or something. Italian senses of humor are weird and dark, okay? Like, again, in hindsight, super fucked up, right? So you'd think that would be traumatic enough for me to not want to pay this forward. But I was a terrible little child. Once again, I am so glad YouTube was not a thing when I was even a teenager, because you all would have hated the kind of person I was back then. But we're going back further than that. This is like childhood shit, so maybe a year or so passes after that. I'm randomly one day, I remember this shit. We went over there like at least once a week, like usually Mondays, and then if there was a holiday or a birthday or something, we'd be over there on the weekend for a birthday dinner. But bare minimum, we were always there at least once a week just to visit, and so my mom could do my Nana's hair, shit like that, right? As a little kid, I mean, there's only so much shit to do, so sometimes you get bored, and I randomly remember the skeleton up in the attic. So, I was a bad sister. I went to Nikki, I was like, hey, wanna hear something crazy? There's a dead body up in the attic. And she was like, no there's not. I was like, yeah there is, do you wanna go see it? whose dead body is it? And this is where I went, like, full nuclear with it. Because my one aunt on that side, there was always beef with she and my mom. Because the aunt was older, and she did not like to share, and they grew up sharing a room and sharing everything, and she was absolutely shitty to my mom all growing up. So I was like, you know how Barb was always, like, so mean to Mom growing up? Because she was jealous of her? They had another sister that she was even more jealous of. She killed her, and Grandpa hid the body up in the attic so she wouldn't go to jail. I am a terrible person for telling her this, right? And she's like, just the look on her face told me, got her on the hook. She's buying it. All right, we're going up there, and I'm going to laugh my butt off. And so it's just like, come on, I'll go show you. You don't believe me? I will show you. So we go upstairs while no one's looking, and I do my usual, I'm gonna parkour up a bunch of stuff, stack a bunch of things that I had no business stacking, just to be able to reach the pull-down thing and yank it down just enough to where it's like, okay, I can jump off here, pull it down further, we can knock that shit out of the way, we go right up. Somehow, no one heard this. It was not exactly a quiet door, but then again, they kept that TV really loud in that house, so I don't know. Also, Italian household, everyone is loud all of the time. Some of you bitch that I talk to loud all the time. I am Italian. Sorry as hell about that. So, anyway, we pull down the thing. And I get her to, like, sneak the flashlight from the kitchen upstairs with us. It's like, alright, I can tell you exactly where it is, because Papa showed it to me once, like a couple years ago. So, you have to keep it hell a secret, though, right? Because you don't want Aunt Barb to go to jail, right? So, okay, we go up there. She's shining it around and gets to the corner, and she just screams and freaks out, even though, like, by this point, I'm a little older and realizing just how fake that skeleton looks anyway. But she's 4.5 years younger than me, so for her, this was quite real. So she went screaming downstairs, and she goes running to Mom. Daddy, show me the dead body up in the attic. It's just like, oh, god damn it! And then I got in trouble because she knew exactly who started this from when I got freaked out over it. And why would you tell your sister that? You remember how upset you were? Why would you do that to her? That was funny. Yeah, I got my ass beat that day. Deservedly so. So you'd think I would learn my lesson after the first time. No. No. I did not. I did not. So, sometimes, our cousins would be over at the house too, like if their mom had to work on a Monday. I guess usually she didn't have to, so usually our paths did not cross during the work week. But, sometimes they did. And pretty much any time they did, we always got into deep shit together. And this was no exception. But several months after already freaking my sister out with it, I was like, wonder if I can get Jake to believe it. I mean, he's a lot harder to sell on shit, so I have to think up a different version of this story to tell him to get him intrigued enough to even, like, want to go up there. So I come up with an alternate version of whose skeleton it is. I tell him, hey, you know how we come from, like, an Italian family? There's a dead body up in the attic. Like, our great-great-grandpa was, like, in the mafia and, like, killed a guy, and, his skeleton is totally up in the attic. Again, little kid logic, that would totally not check out, right? Like, why would it be several generations down? Again, little kid logic. Sounded good at the time in my head. Apparently was intriguing enough to him since he was raised watching The Godfather, and alright, up we're gonna go. Same kind of shit, although at least since he was taller, he was able to climb up and grab it and pull it down. Fine. I went and got the flashlight this time, handed it to him, was like, it's over there. And he's just like, oh, cool! Of course he fucking did. So he's in there, and he's rooting around, and unfortunately we were not quiet enough that day, because not only have I gotten in trouble for this once before already, they can tell I'm doing it again. So my grandpa had a sense of humor. Closed the attic door with us in there. So now I'm freaking out. And he's freaking out because, oh my god, it's the ghost of the guy! And he let us freak out for like a good probably 10 minutes. Maybe it wasn't 10 minutes. Maybe it just felt like 10 minutes. But felt like way too long. And oh my god, we're gonna die in here. There's gonna be 3 skeletons now. Oh no. Oh no. He eventually let us out. And then I had to admit, I did it again. Sorry. Got the paddle that day. Anyway. You would think, after twice, I would have learned the lesson. No, I did not. Because a few years later, God, I suck. I suck. I pulled it on my brother. I told him the same version of events that I told my cousin, because he was also interested in that kind of shit. Except he didn't fall for it. He took one look at it. That's plastic, fuck you, and he left. It's like, mind you, he's teeny, and he's already dropping F-bombs, but whatever. So it's like, damn, didn't work on that one, fine. So I wait till the next time the cousins are over, and it's like not a holiday day, because we could never have gotten away with this shit on a holiday day, but on a normal day, you time it just right. This was like the most outlandish version of it that I told to one of them to get them interested enough to go up there. This was the cousin that was obsessed with the Spice Girls. I told her the Spice Girls' old manager is dead and up in the attic. I don't know why that was the one I defaulted to. I needed to come up with something attached to the Spice Girls, but obviously they are all very much still around. So I was like, old manager. Done. So, we're gonna go up and check out the Spice Girls' old dead manager up in the attic. And much like my sister, she did freak out, and I got in deep, deep, deep trouble over this one, because she took it way worse than Nikki did, and, needless to say, they got rid of the fucking skeleton after that one, so I'd stopped doing this and traumatizing everybody, so I never got around to doing it to Kimmy, because it was gone already. But I also think she would have been like my brother and been like, no, that's fake. She would know, dummy. She would have known. Now, if this had been a fake spider, however. I was a bad little kid. Just sorry. I was an asshole. But anyway, yeah. So, that was the story of the dead guy up in the attic, who was not really a dead guy. It was just a plastic Halloween skeleton. That's it.